It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another live edition of the Sunday Night Live Mike Prince Show here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, it is our daily mission to try to bring you some news that you could use. Tonight is not going to be an exception to the rule. On our guest list for tonight, joining us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. First guest will be head basketball coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Coach Byron Smith. Panthers continue to do their thing, beating Alabama A&M to bring their home win streak to 30 consecutive games. They'll get ready for Alabama State on Monday night. We'll hear from Coach Byron Smith. We'll also hear from head football coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Getting ready for spring football, opening up against Grambling, followed by Texas Southern for the spring. And we'll go a little bit into the fall, at least half of the fall schedule that I was able to locate. And we'll get caught up in the world of the gridiron. Got a whole lot to get started and off the ground. I want to thank our sponsors, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Reflections Paint and Body Shop, attorney Lee Van Richardson, Diva Skin Conditioner, Prairie View Athletic Club, Helping Hands Lawn Service, the Purple Drip Daiquiri and Grill, Temple of Refuge Ministries. And without any further delay, we are going to jump right into tonight's episode. Man, I got a confession to make. I am really not one of those guys who get off into a bunch of movies and things of that nature. But I watched a movie today that was just absolutely brilliant. There's no other word for it, just absolutely brilliant. And it's called One Night in Miami. Regina King is the director of this masterpiece, and I cannot overemphasize that you put this on your to-do list. It was marvelous as far as I was concerned. In case you're not aware what the movie is about, I won't give it to you in full detail, but it's featuring Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. 4 heroes from different aspects and perceptions and perspectives of life. And it was one night in Miami after Muhammad Ali became world champion over Sonny Liston. And it's just brilliant. Brilliant. I had a good buddy of mine recommend it to me because, like I said, I don't watch a lot of movies. To me, watching a movie is like watching somebody at work, and I need to be working for myself. But absolutely, I really cannot get over it. But enough of that. Go check it out. One Night in Miami. You won't be sorry. Trust me. You won't be sorry. We're on the last day of January. Can you believe that? And we have a special Black History Month feature that we're going to start tomorrow morning. Lord say the same. That we'll be doing on Twitter. Of course, that Twitter feed is at The Mike Prince Show. It's all running together. And we'll be putting out some, what we think are significant tweets to cover the month of February. We try to do something at least daily anyway, but in particular, this is going to be accenting African-American history. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and check that out. Don't forget, you can sign up on the YouTube channel, and that is at The Mike Prince Show. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, I am going to hopefully have our first guest lined up for tonight. None other than head basketball coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Mr. Byron Smith. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show. Keep it right where you got it, and we will be right back.
Your trusted financial partner, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, has some free virtual events and resources that you need to tune into. On Wednesday, February 10th at 6 p.m., they are hosting their Credit Clinic Seminar. Learn tips on how to improve your credit score and how life events impact your score. BVSCU will be hosting a seminar on their AutoLink feature on Wednesday, February 17th at 6 p.m. During the event, chat with AutoLink creator Ed Bourgeois and learn how to use AutoLink to help easily find your next new car. Their virtual Drive Smart event will be held on Wednesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. For this event, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union is teaming up with Ryan Ford, the Waller Police Department, and Liberty Mutual Insurance. During the presentation, viewers will learn how to change a tire, what to do if you are pulled over by police, gain valuable information on the different types of car insurance coverages, and so much more. Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union is also offering 5 $2,000 scholarships to graduating high school seniors who are members of the credit union. To review eligibility requirements and download the scholarship application, visit their website at www.bvscu.org and click on the BVSC University tab. For more information or to participate in any of the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union events, visit their website at www.bvscu.org. Upcoming events and registration can be found by viewing the News and Promotions drop-down menu on their website and then clicking on Seminars. Events are free and open to the public.
Reflections Paint and Auto Body Shop, located in Waller, Texas, is ready to restore the beauty of your automobile. Whether it's a small dent or a major accident, if your vehicle needs auto body repair, check out Reflections Paint and Body Shop. All repairs are completed by highly skilled and trained professionals. They are located at 2910 Waller Street in Waller, Texas. And just in case you can't get it into them, they provide towing services. Call them today, 936-931-5780. That number again, 936-931-5780.
The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org. Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics. Prairie View Athletic Club has been proudly supporting the Prairie View Athletic Department since 1986. The Prairie View Athletic Club believes in the rich traditions of Prairie View Athletics and all that it has to offer. For more information and details on how to become a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, call 936-857-5817. A proud supporter of Prairie View Athletics, the Prairie View Athletic Club in Prairie View, Texas. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, located in Prairie View, Texas, for news, sports, information, and inspiration 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mike Prince Show Live. Just as we would always have it, every time you go to try to do something good, you got that little rascal sticking his head up, but guess what? That ain't gonna stop us none. I'm gonna see if we can. Coach, can you hear me now? Uh-oh. All right. We got you now, Coach. I think we do. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we got to do this, as they say, the old-fashioned way, but we're going to get her done. We have on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline none other than Coach Byron Smith. The Panthers go on to win the 30th consecutive home game of this streak, only to be behind Gonzaga. And I need people to really, really understand it. And I'm not boasting or bragging. We're just stating facts. But we're proud to have with us on the line tonight none other than Coach Byron Smith. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, Mike, and yourself?
Man, I dare not complain. It's good to hear from you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much.
Well, Coach, we always talk about, streaks and superstitions and this, that, and the other. But for you to be able to do what you've been doing, every now and then the word luck gets old, doesn't it?
Yeah, I never subscribed to that. My mother told me a long time ago, the only luck is when you miss heaven and go to hell. It's bad luck. Good things are blessings. And so I never subscribed to the word luck. It's not in my vocabulary.
Okay. Well, I have an acronym for luck, Coach, and you spell luck L-U-C-K. And that simply stands for labor under correct knowledge. So if you get the correct knowledge, you like that, don't you? I'll give you that one for free. If you apply the knowledge, do what you're supposed to do, good things are going to happen more than likely.
Right.
This defensive stint you've been on, Coach, I still scratch my head. Byron Smith, defense. But when did you wake up and realize that was actually going to be the key to your success?
I realized a long time ago it actually kept me from making a lot of money playing basketball because I was probably one of the worst defenders that you ever saw on the basketball court. So I knew way back. But just watching basketball evolving as a coach, studying, watching the game and your most successful teams at every level are the ones that defend first, and offense usually comes after that. So, and I always say, talent sometimes can be a little bit shaky, having talent and knowing how to play and applying that talent sometimes can be a bit difficult. Even when you can't score, if you're defending, you still got a chance to win on that particular night. So defense is paramount, and it's not just an expression. I mean, it's a way of life at Prairie View. We're always going to be about that as long as I'm at the helm. And thus far, I think it's been met with really, really good results.
Yes, sir. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Byron Smith of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. They take care of Alabama A&M. They now get set for Alabama State, who came up a little short against Texas Southern on last night. But that's neither here nor there. You got to get prepared to try to make it 31. And what are some of the things that you're looking at that Alabama State wants to try and do that you got to take away from them?
I think they want to play fast. I think they're a really good transition team. Obviously, I think they've got a new coach in Mo Williams, who I think is, not having a non-conference schedule, not playing the non-conference. I think he's done a really decent job of kind of rallying the troops and getting them prepared, with not a lot of, game prep, game action, just with the chemistry. But they want to play fast. They want to get out of transition. They do a lot of the same things that we do. They want to kind of pressure you and kind of heat you up a little bit, trap a lot. Fly around, let their defense dictate their offense. So I think it'll be an up and down contest. I don't think it'll be very low scoring. I think that's kind of how they want to play. I think it's to their advantage, and we're going to have to get back and find them in transition. We're going to defend the basketball, and we have to rebound. They got some very, very athletic players at all five positions, and some athletic guys coming off the bench. They really attack the glass. So we're going to box out and win the rebounding battle, and just be ready for a high-octane contest against the Hornets tomorrow night.
Yes, sir, and I think it's going to be a very animated contest as well because Coach Mo Williams has a lot of charisma, should I say, and he has been known to stand tall on his words and his confidence in his program.
Yeah, he has. I think he's. I think he and Coach Prime down at Jackson State have spent some time together, and I think that they read some of the same books on confidence and charisma, the two C's. So they both have an enormous amount of that. And I think that's really good for our league. I think to bring in new people that have a different perspective in their approach and their process. It's worked for him as a professional player. Obviously being very successful with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think at some point in time it's going to work for him, as the head coach of the Alabama State Hornets. I just hope tomorrow night, won't be the beginning of that.
Absolutely. We're coming up on the unusual end of the first half of the season. Of course, the magic number is 13. Things are, and I'm knocking on wood, looking somewhat promising that you should make that 13 window without much of a hiccup with the remaining games that you have. Not much as far as you have to do as far as making up games with the exception of the Alcorn Southern game. Is that something in the far rearview mirror right now, or you'll address that when you get to it if needed?
Obviously, that's a little bit in the back of our minds. Obviously, like you say, if God continues to bless and continues to provide, we inch closer to getting to that number. We hope that we will without any interruptions on on any program's part. But obviously, there is in the back of our mind that we may have to double dip and go back and maybe have a 2-for-1 in 1 weekend, 2 games in a weekend. We've kind of had a bit of a discussion with Alcorn about that. I think there's a possible plan in play to be able to do that with Jackson at some point in time, since they canceled on us the first time with a positive COVID. So we're definitely going to keep that. It's very important for us to be able to qualify for the NCAA tournament. They're a really strong team. I think we've got a deep team. I think we've got guys that are starting to really gel and play well together. So I think it would be a shame if we didn't get an opportunity to at least compete for a chance to get to the postseason. So we're going to do everything within our power to do that. Take it one day at a time, continue to follow the protocols, the health and safety protocols, and just try to stay on the other side of this COVID thing. But definitely, Mike, to answer your question, we definitely have a plan in play to be able to get to that number the best way that we can, the number of 13.
Okay, we're on the line once again with Coach Byron Smith of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We are discussing SWAC basketball. It's no doubt, Coach, that you are the hunted, 2-time defending champion. And speaking with you off the record and on the record, you badly seek this third one. How difficult is it for you to translate that message to your players about not becoming complacent?
Well, we just keep on continue to do the same thing, each and every day. And I subscribe a lot to, the late, great Kobe Bryant with the Mamba mentality, and that, each time he went out, he was trying to, outperform his last performance. And that was pretty hard to do because I think he put together some great performances. But that was a driving factor towards his greatness, is that he never was satisfied. He always wanted to be better on Tuesday than he was on Monday, be better on Wednesday than he was on Tuesday, be better on Thursday than he was on Wednesday. And from game to game and day to day, that's kind of what he did. So that's the challenge, that nobody remember who finishes second. I don't put any pressure on our guys, Mike, to make it mandatory that we win this thing again. But I think we've got some good pieces in place, and I think we've gotten off to a pretty good start, and I think we've got a lot of depth, and I think we're playing pretty good basketball right now. So that, like that old saying, Mike, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. If you show up to play, why not try to win? Why not try to go all the way if you can? But there's no pressure on our guys. We just continue to do the same thing each and every day, trying to improve and trying to get better, and just to be consistent. Sustain what we've done, but consistency is the main thing. Not to be really good one night and average the next night, or average this night and be better than. We want to be solid across the board and give great effort. So these are the things that we do. Same thing every day. Keep working hard. Keep working on the same thing. Just trying to be better this time than the last time that we were on the floor. Okay,
you got a lot of new pieces with the program this year, and this, with some, would be dubbed as a potential trap game, because after this game, there's that one Saturday with the fellas down the street. How important is it for the guys to stay focused on this one game at a time? Let's not worry about that. We'll take care of that when that time comes up. Because the fans sometimes mean well, but they can add some pressure sometimes too. Am I right? Am I in the house on this evening, Coach?
Absolutely. Especially Prairie View Nation. With the great winning tradition that Prairie View always had in men's basketball. We know about that, right, Mike? And won so much, so for such a long period of time, powerhouse, if you will. Definitely is always, if you allow them to have a say in it. It's mandatory that you win every game, that you go 18-0. And win every game and win championships each and every year. That's just the expectation. But obviously, we respect the opinions of our fans, and they've been very supportive. They've come out, and even in a difficult time like this, it's still some of the same old faithful fans that show up. So we really appreciate that. But obviously, we know what's at stake. We know what we have to do. We have to control what we can control, and that's our attitude, our effort, our execution on a daily basis. And as long as we continue to do that, we like our chances to be successful. And we hope that we always put a really good product out on the floor to where all of you, Prairie View alums and Prairie View Nation can really be proud of the young men, the student athletes that take the court each and every night at the Baby Dome. Absolutely.
Now, I tweeted on last night, Coach, and it got some pretty good legs on it, and which lets me know that a lot of people were not aware of the history that's being made at Prairie View under your leadership. With this win on last night, it only puts you behind Gonzaga in the nation for the most consecutive wins at home. And I know you're still working and you're not looking, at least not with both eyes, but every now and then you kind of glance at what's being put together, and it's got to be a pretty proud moment for you at this stage.
Well, absolutely, Mike. We are proud of what we've been able to put together, what we've been able to accomplish. I think in short order, this is my 5th year, but it's still, relatively, early, in my tenure. So we do feel really good about what we've been able to do, and we're just really anxious to see just how much more we can do. We're not going to get complacent, and we're not going to be satisfied. We're going to be grateful and appreciative, and going to be respectful. But we just want to see how far we can carry this thing and just how far we really can go. You know what I mean? If you look at, the greatest of the great, the Nick Saban is the name that jumps out at everyone. It's just how he's able to do that each and every year, to have Alabama either winning or contending for a national championship. And it's never a drop-off. It's never a 7-4 season with them, Mike. It's never a 6-5 season. It's always, it's 12-0, 11-1, 10-2. They may lose 2 at the most. And this has been going on since, I think, 2006 or 2007, 8, around that time when he took over the program. So you look at people like that, Bill Belichick, the Nick Sabans, just to be consistent each and every year, and that's what we're after, and that's what we're about, and that's what we're going to continue to be about.
Well, the Panthers get ready to try to extend their win streak to 31 on Monday night against Alabama State. Coach, I always appreciate you making yourself available with us here on the open mic, and we don't take it for granted. I know you're on the grind, you're on the move right now, and we're going to give you some quick closing thoughts and comments as we get ready to end this segment, sir.
As always, Mike, we appreciate you. You've been there with us every step of the way, and that's just from man to man and brother to brother. Really appreciate the coverage, the interest, and the support. And you allow me to grow as a coach by giving me this platform to be able to speak. This helps me more than you realize. So I have a big debt of gratitude to you first and foremost, and to our alumni. Our athletic department, our institution, our great president, Dr. Ruth Simmons, everyone has been so supportive of the men's basketball program, and we hope that will continue. And the Prairie Nation, just keep us in your prayers. Continue to support us. The young men really like to see you come out and like to get text messages and emails and stuff from the alums that you're doing a good job. It makes them feel really good. Just want everybody to stay safe. Follow the health and safety protocols, and hopefully here at one point in time, real soon, we can kind of get back to some sense of normalcy. But we're going to do everything we can to continue to put a great product out on the floor. Something, again, that you guys can be proud of and feel really good about. And but again, we thank all of you for your support and your prayers. And we'll continue to do our part and try to make you proud.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight, my man. Get you some rest and go Panthers for tomorrow night, my man.
Thank you so much, Mike.
All right, Coach Byron Smith of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We apologize. We had to kind of rig up that interview for this session, but we'll work things out. We got Coach Dooley coming up on the next segment. We're going to make sure that we can try to get these technical challenges up and out of the way. We're going to take us a break, and we'll come back with more of tonight's episode of the Mike Prince Show. Keep it right where you got it, and we will be right back. Don't you dare touch that dial.
Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story.
Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, will travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics.
This is Sergeant Stephen Wirt, and this is Safety Talk. Do you know the top reasons why people cause crashes here in the state of Texas? Number one, failing to control speed. Over 140,000 individuals were the cause of a crash due to driving fast. Number two, driver inattention. Over 86,000 people here in Texas were the cause of a crash because they weren't actually paying attention to the roadway. Number three, changing lanes when unsafe. We had almost 42,000 Texans that did not adhere to changing lanes when it was safe on the roadway. Number four, failing to drive in a single lane. And finally, five, fail to yield the right-of-way at a turn. It's your responsibility to ensure once you're driving on the road that you're paying attention and sharing the road. Drive safety. This is Sergeant Stephen Water with DPS with Safety Talk.
Reparation won't be in the form when the conversation first came up. But reparation for Dallas State, Jackson State, and the other HBCU coaches out there, you know what it would be? Let the state come through and pay those coaches like it's supposed to be. Whatever Dallas State can do, whatever Arkansas Pine coach and Auburn coach group can't do for the coach, let the state chip in and do what they're supposed to do. All these states. Because it's just not Mississippi that got the short end of the stick across this long length of time. It has been all of them that have gotten the short end of the stick. Whether they admit it or not, there's some challenges out there on all the HBCUs. And now, have they done good? Yeah, they have done good. But have they done what they're capable of doing? No, they haven't. And they haven't because of the funding that they have been receiving.
Our fans need to come out and support these schools. All of our SWAC fans, because attendance is down. So all of our fans have got to come out. We got to support our schools. We got to support our own. It's a message to all the alumnus. Support your schools.
The voice of student athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hello, this is Alonzo Hardy Jr., the president of the SWAC Alumni Association. The SWAC Alumni Association is an organization founded on December 10, 1999, at the Sheraton Hotel in Birmingham, Alabama. Its mission is to serve as a rallying ground for individuals who have made the Southwestern Athletic Conference the illustrious conference that it is today. Its membership is open to former student athletes who played in the conference in any sport, as well as to coaches, athletic administrators, staff members, game officials, and fans. Annually, the association holds a Legends Awards and Roast Banquet or luncheon where it honors individuals with Lifetime Achievement Awards, a Chuck Prophet Wackenmaster Award, and occasionally a Distinguished Service Award. Proceeds from that event help to finance degree completion scholarships for student athletes who have exhausted their playing eligibility at SWAC universities, but who may still need an extra semester or two to complete their college studies. For more information on the SWAC Alumni Association or to get information on becoming a member, you can send correspondence to SWAC Alumni Association, 875 Miller Creek Lane, Newport News, Virginia, 23602. The email address is swacaluminassociation@yahoo.com.
It's the open mic with Dr. Mike. The open radio and the Mike Prince Show. The open mic broadcast network. The open mic broadcast network.
One voice, It can get the point across, but it only carries so far. Add a voice. It's richer, louder, but that has limits too. Add a third voice. It's even more powerful. Add another, and another, and many, many more, and we are stronger than ever. That's the power of a community coalition. They help community groups, faith groups, civic organizations, PTAs, employers, and many others in your community organize their resources and focus them where they're needed most, like fighting to keep kids away from drugs. Ask a group that you belong to if they should belong to a community coalition. It's easy to get involved. Visit helpyourcommunity.org and they'll tell you exactly how your group can help. That's helpyourcommunity.org, because you get more when we get together. Brought to you by the Office of National Drug Control Policy and the Ad Council.
It's the radio guy, Mike Prince, and man, we are catching all kind of dickens on tonight, but we're going to still work through this. We're trying to see if we can get Coach Dooley on the line. Coach Dooley, are you there with us? Uh-oh. Okay. Right now we are back. We had Coach Byron Smith on the line with us, and we could not get a hold of Coach Dooley. Might be some hang-ups. We do apologize. We had a little rough patch in the road earlier with Coach Smith, but was able to get through the interview. 30 consecutive home wins, only second behind Gonzaga throughout the nation for that home win streak. They'll put 31 on the line tomorrow night against Alabama State. Panthers looking very strong on the defensive side of things. On the women's side of the court, the women will try to get their first conference win on tomorrow night against the same Alabama State from the female version on the hardwood. We heard from Coach Sandy Pugh earlier this past week as they were breaking down and trying to get an understanding of the plight that they're actually in right now. Got some texts from some of you, said the sound was being challenged, and we do apologize about that. We had to get him through the speakerphone, not the ideal way, but the show must go on. We're still trying to make sure that we can get in contact with Coach Dooley on the show for tonight. But if not, we'll still break down some of the football spring and fall episodes that are scheduled out. Got the spring schedule opening up against Grambling. Then we'll have Texas Southern come in town. First two games out of the gate are some pretty important games. All games are important, especially with them being conference-only games in the spring. And then when you switch over to the fall, very interesting schedule. At least I was only able to find half of the games on the season. We had home for Houston Baptist, and then on the road at Southern for Southern's homecoming, October 23rd. We're going to be playing Incarnate Word at Incarnate Word. Also scheduled that I was able to check out the Grambling game, of course, at the State Fair Classic. And one that was somewhat unusual, not the opponent, but the time of year that game was being played. And that's Texas A&M, scheduled for November 20th. It's rather late in the season. Usually you get a game like that out front. But we'll find out and see exactly what that was all about. Not real sure. What we're going to do, we're going to try to take us another break, see if we can catch up with Coach Dooley on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline. And if not, we'll continue on with the rest of tonight's show, because I still have some things that I'm a little bit uneasy about. I'll explain that as we get a little bit further down the road in tonight's show. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back. Reflections Paint and Auto Body Shop, located in Waller, Texas, is ready to restore the beauty of your automobile. Whether it's a small dent or a major accident, if your vehicle needs auto body repair, check out Reflections Paint and Body Shop. All repairs are completed by highly skilled and trained professionals. They are located at 2910 Waller Street in Waller, Texas. And just in case you can't get it into them, they provide towing services. Call them today, 936-931-5780. That number again, 936-931-5780.
The station designed with you in mind. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org. Attention all coaches. Whatever your sport is, we want to tell your story. Dial our 24 hours, 7 days a week message line at 713-570-6736. Leave your game results, team results, and player results on our 24-hour message line, 713-570-6736. Have sports, we'll travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, serving the community through faith and athletics, the voice of student athletics. Prairie View Athletic Club has been proudly supporting the Prairie View Athletic Department since 1986. The Prairie View Athletic Club believes in the rich traditions of Prairie View Athletics and all that it has to offer. For more information and details on how to become a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, call 936-857-5817. A proud supporter of Prairie View Athletics, the Prairie View Athletic Club in Prairie View, Texas. You're listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network located in Prairie View, Texas for news, sports, information, and inspiration 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Do you know what's up with Ryan? He's been acting weird and he's not hanging out anymore.
He borrowed money from me and still hasn't paid it back.
His girlfriend broke up with him a couple weeks ago. Said he was more into his sports app than her.
He may be addicted to fantasy sports. We need to get him some help.
Sports betting and fantasy sports can have serious consequences. Know somebody with a gambling problem? Get free and confidential help. Call 1-877-MY-LIMIT. That's 1-877-695-4648. Or go online to opgr.org.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is a nightmarish night, but we're going to get through it. The radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, here with the Mike Prince Show Sunday Night Live edition. I believe we have caught up with Coach Eric Dooley, and we do apologize. We've been having technicalities on our phone line on tonight, but we're going to work it out and do the very best that we can while we can, because that's what you do. You improvise. Prairie View is still producing productive people. And with that being said, as soon as he gets himself cleared up, he's going to let us know when we can continue on with our conversation. But as we said before the break, we're getting ready for spring, and we have scheduled, of course, Grambling. We have Texas Southern. Then we have Alabama A&M. It's been a long time since we played Alabama A&M. And prayerfully, if we can get that game off, that should be a very interesting game. That game is scheduled to host Alabama A&M, so we'll get a chance to see Akil Glass in person on the Hill. And I'm trying to go off the top of my head. I do know we'll have Southern, we'll have Alcorn, and Pine Bluff, the remaining of the schedule. But I was very, very interested in this fall competition to see if we can get the blanks filled in. I kind of think I know who it would be, but not exactly what the dates are. Trying to check. Coach, are you with us? Okay, he's not quite back yet. They're having practice. Practice got started on the 29th, and we are working things out on that. But meanwhile, while we got all that going on, We did hear from Coach Byron Smith. Coach Byron Smith and the Panthers going for 31 consecutive home games against Alabama State, who fell short to Texas Southern on last night. Panthers victorious over Alabama A&M. Alcorn had no answers for Southern on the hardwood as Coach Bussey and the Braves fell short. He was not a happy camper. And don't look now, but Mississippi Valley gave up 106 points on last night as they were somewhat manhandled by Jackson State. Tough times at Valley. What is the solution? We know that money is a challenge for Valley in particular. It's a challenge for all of us, but it's a challenge for Valley in particular. What is the solution? How does Valley overcome one's challenge? How do they deal with the lack thereof? Is there hope for the situation? I like to think that the glass is half full. You can't operate the way others are operating, but you can operate within your little ecosystem and try, and I do mean try, to make something out of it. I think I heard Coach Dooley. Coach Dooley, you with us? Okay. Coach Dooley, are you there? Okay, I guess he's not. But anyway, when you're trying to make something out of nothing, and it's the old saying, you work with what you have, and if you only have A, B, you don't have C, you got to make A, B work to the best of your ability. And not knowing every integral detail of what's going on at Valley, but experiencing some of the things that we experienced at Prairie View in those 80s, 90s. Okay, I think we got him. At least I heard something. All right, he is with us. All right, Coach, we're going to finish this up and then we'll get right to you. You got to keep grinding and you got to keep trying to work your magic while you can. And speaking of working magic, we have with us on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline. We do apologize for the lack of quality of audio that we're going to have tonight, but we are going to have live and live in color head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, none other than Coach Eric Dooley. How you doing this evening, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Good to be here.
All right, good to have you here. And we getting things started. Practice just got on the way. It's good to have that whistle around your neck and be back on the grind again, huh?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I'm at home again.
You feel like you're at home again? I heard you on the media day saying your wife was ready to kick you out the house because you didn't turn your house into an extra coach's box there, and we don't need you getting in no trouble before the season gets started, Coach.
No, you're right. I got to, sometimes you just got to make sure, you got to always be ready. So whatever was around me, I had to make it as if I was still in a sense of normalcy. So I understand that, but she's, I love her to death, and she's going to make sure that I'm successful in every way possible.
Very good. Because no happy wife, no happy life, sir. And you got to make sure mama's taken care of. Now, with that being,
you know what, I can say that. We just had our 26-year anniversary, so it's been a great ride for me.
Okay, well, I got you by a couple, man. I been with my wife for 31 years.
Absolutely, that's a blessing.
Yes, sir. I don't know if it's a blessing or she just puts up with me, Coach. So I'm gonna say it's a blessing, all right. But she been putting up with me for 31 years, and I'm mighty glad of it. And you, as well as I, know and understand the importance of having a strong woman to help support your dreams and visions. In your case, being a head football coach.
Absolutely.
Now, Coach, with us getting back into the swing of things, we have the 6-game schedule that we just kind of broke down, opening up with Grambling, then pick up with Texas Southern, then have Alabama A&M. The familiarity with Grambling and Texas Southern, no doubt, because they're Western counterparts, but it's been a 3 or 4 year window since Prairie View has faced up against Alabama A&M. That's going to be very interesting with the quarterbacking success that they have with Glass. But with this Grambling game coming up, not that you count your chickens, you've had at least for the past 2 seasons, the number to the G Nation. How are the guys knowing and feeling right now being back on the gridiron?
Well, when we look at this thing right here, regardless of who we playing, I've been saying it, and I'm going to continue to say it. The SWAC is very competitive. Sometimes you used to have those days where you know what, it's going to be a game, but shouldn't be as tough. But I just think the SWAC is compatible across the whole conference, East and West. So it didn't matter who we play. We're going to prepare the way we're supposed to prepare, and that's to get after some folks. So they know you start off with a team that knows how to win, a team that have won some championships. So you got to bring your A game, no question.
We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. A lot of people, Coach, are forgetting that Wednesday is a very important day. It's the phase 2 of the National Signing Day. And do you have any surprises coming up for us?
Oh, yeah, we have some guys that we're going to add to that's going to complete what we have already been able to get thus far. And I'm excited about those young men and can't wait to have those guys come on board. I think the fans, I know that the fans would love these guys here to get a chance to see some great highlights on these guys. And there's some great local guys that you guys can look at and be very, very proud of. Okay,
without letting too many eggs out of the basket, not who, but how many do we have scheduled to be signed on February 1st? I'm sorry, on 1st February.
The thing about it, we were filling our class, and I wanted to get the early signing period. That's why I signed the bulk of those guys, which I was able to sign 10 because we were very limited on scholarships. I think this is a very challenging roster because you know what you're going to be afforded to do with some guys that you've been playing with. After this year here would be 3 years, and you're going to have the availability to invite some guys back. So it makes it more the merrier. So we just have to be real careful how we sign. But we're looking for to have anywhere from a total of combined from earlier 15 to 16 guys that will complete our roster. We didn't lose very many guys. We lost some big guys. When I say that, when you lose the Wanye Tucker, that's like losing 5 guys. And we lost Martin, too. So it was tough, but some shoes that we were able to fill, and we feel really excited about what we have coming up.
Now, I noticed that there's a 4-man race, but technically a 2-man race at your quarterbacking position. And I know you're still early with your reps and everything, but how is that position looking for you right now?
Oh, man, it's something to watch. It's a show to watch. Every practice, every drill, because those guys are competing and ready to take charge. But you know what? The most comfortable thing out of all of this here, regardless who wins the job, we feel that any one of those guys can help us be champions.
Okay, with this extra time that you've had, Coach, have you had a chance to go back and maybe fine-tune some of your schemes, add a couple of more wrinkles to the playbook, or have you just been working on what you have in the system and pretty much sticking with what you know that has worked?
No, you always got to iron sharpen iron, so you got to make things a little better because what was good for you last year may not be great for you this year here. So you got to always make sure you go and make adjustments and want to add on some new things because now you got a team that's coming that's been playing within that system. So now you feel a little bit more comfortable adding some things. So, no, we made some adjustments, some things. I took out some bad and added some good, and I feel that it's a playbook that fits the personnel that we have. So, yeah, we fine-tuned that as a coaching staff. I did that immediately when the season was over with, regardless of what knowing what's going to take place. That's something that I always look to do to see what's been good and what can be fixed in a different way to make this better. You know, sometimes plays work. It may not be the best play, but it goes by that individual that ran that play. So, you know, sometimes you got to make some adjustments, and I did this offseason.
Absolutely. And speaking of the adjustments, Coach, you had some new coaches come in, and with this extra time that you've had, have you been able to take advantage? Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Coach? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Coach? Uh-oh. We may have lost him. We'll try to get him right back. We're talking with Coach Eric Dooley. Can you hear me, Coach? He may have hit a spot driving, but we're going to try to get him right back on. This is what happened when you go live. It is what it is, but we're going to do what needs to be done. Hello? Okay, can you hear me now, Coach? Coach, can you hear me now?
Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hold on. Are you there now, Coach? Yeah, can you hear me? We are having some challenges on tonight, but we're going to keep on. We'll try to get Coach on the backside of the thing, but we're talking about adding the new coaches that he's had to the staff, and we make sure that are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, we're sorry about that, Coach. There's all kind of attacks, but we don't give the enemy victory or joy on this side. Anyway, with the new coaching staff that you had added, have you been able to take advantage of getting to know them better, they getting to know your system, and do you see that as a plus with this extra time you've had?
Yeah, the thing about it, you have a relationship. I had an opportunity to work with both of the young guys that I brought on offensively and defensively, and Coach Van Singletary and Coach Damian Nivens. Coach Nivens and I last worked together not too long ago, so we've been working together. Actually, I had the opportunity to coach Coach Nivens at my very first school of working. So the relationship was there. We just had to rekindle some things and they understand what we're doing. So it was a smooth transition.
Okay, very good. Now, we know this is a unique time for everyone involved in SWAC football with the spring football going on, and it's a 50-50. Some say the season will last, others say it won't last, and I know you're playing every game to win. But are you taking advantage of this spring season? We know the ultimate goal is to win a championship, but are you looking at this as more of an extended, intense spring football practice?
Our philosophy and motto is to win the day. So at all costs, we want to win. We're going to take full advantage of everything that's handed to us. I guess you look at it as both, but you cannot have this equation without using those three letters, win. That's what the ultimate goal is all about. Let these young men be successful on the field as well as off the field. So we are taking some things that we're looking at, how we can make some adjustments, how we can make some things better, and how it can make us a better team to represent Prairie View University.
Very good, sir. Now, let's move, if we could, to the fall season. I was able to find 5 games scheduled for the fall. Is that an accurate statement right now, or am I missing the other half of the season?
When you say 5 scheduled for us to play, no, we'll have a full schedule next.
Right, but the games that I was able to find online was at home against Houston Baptist, on the road against Incarnate Word, also on the road against Southern University. We'll play Grambling at the State Fair Classic. And then there was a late game scheduled to play Texas A&M November 20th. Was there a reason in particular? Usually that game is earlier. Why so late on that one?
Well, that was the schedule that I guess Dr. Reed and both of us adapted. That was already written in stone. So, I would have preferred to play them earlier, but that's how it's scheduled. So we'll be ready to play it. It is a late game, but we do have some other games that's probably going to come on that. Of course, next year we'll play Mississippi Valley down there in Itabima. Of course, you definitely have to play Alcorn, but I guess the only team will go off. We won't play Alabama State, and we get a chance to play Bethune-Cookman.
Okay, now we'll play Bethune-Cookman at Bethune-Cookman.
Yes.
That's definitely a flight trip.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Now, if I'm not mistaken, so the gaps that would be filled in from what I was missing would be Texas Southern, Mississippi Valley, Bethune-Cookman, and you said Alcorn. Am I missing? Are we going to play Jackson State this fall?
We won't play them this fall. We'll play them this spring.
Okay. So that was the missing piece of the missing element then. Okay. Well, with that being said, Coach, I know it's still strange times for everyone, and everybody's kind of working and sorting things out. We're excited about football coming back to the Hill, and I know you guys are excited about it as well. Do we have any surprises that you might want to hint in our direction on who to look out for this season?
Well, I think I do like what we bring back to the table. I can't say that. And I'm very, very excited about our defense that's coming back. We got a lot of young men that played some exciting football last year, and they coming back. We were able to bring in some guys that help shore up that defensive line. So as we get closer to that, I'll definitely I'll give you a call, let you know some of those guys, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. These guys here play some fine football players, but more than that, they're taking care of business right now in the classroom.
Oh, that's absolutely.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's it.
We're trying to make sure these guys, we're going to get an opportunity. We're in this spring right now doing season with at least 7 to 8 guys that are in grad school. And, that I think that's what you're talking about being successful right there. So they, already have the degree. And these guys are inspiring to get their graduate degree. It's not like they're just being there because they got another year to play football. We got 1 or 2 guys at the end of this semester will have their master. So, we trying to get things, make sure that it's in the right direction and understanding what it's all about, the big picture, something that can never be taken away from you. Now, we're going to hone their skills on the football field, but we also got to make sure they take care of business in the classroom.
Very good. Now, Coach, I got to have a little fun with you on this one, man. I know that you got a lot of long roots down in Baton Rouge at Southern University. And when I saw the schedule, I kind of smiled to myself. They got us scheduled for their homecoming, Coach. And
they got us scheduled for their homecoming?
They got us scheduled for their homecoming, Coach. And what people try to do psychologically when they schedule a homecoming opponent. Now, I'm not trying to shoot no fires and no cannons, but being a competitor that I am, Coach, don't that kind of rev your engine up just a little bit?
I'm glad we can be everybody homecoming. And that's not an issue because we gonna come. I tell you that we're gonna come and play for 60 minutes, and that's how the schedule lands us. We'll be there.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Brother Carlos Brown, and he runs his show through our network, and we have a good time going back and forth. So, Coach, I'm going to just tell you right now, I've been selling some Wolf tickets, not a whole lot of them, but I've been standing my PV ground, and I'm going to continue to stand it on there, especially October 23rd.
You know what? You got to stand on it because that PV ground is solid ground.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you making yourself available. We apologize about the challenges that we had on this evening, but we will continue to work things out and grind on the grind. And one other thing, Coach, that second half finish, I know you've been addressing that and been working on the depth for that, but I'm looking forward to see how the troops rally around in those second halves, man. We knock it out in the second half, there's no reason why we shouldn't be the last man standing.
Absolutely. 13 points separated us from going to the SWAC championship last year. 13 points out of 3 games. You're talking about the game with Jackson State winning to overtime. You're talking about the game with Southern University, and then you're talking about the game with Alcorn. It separated 13 points. That stopped us from being where we should have been at, and we understand that.
Now, Coach, you opened up a couple of wounds for me just then. That one at Jackson, that was a dagger because we had such control of that game. But I'm not going to go toward the light, Coach. I'm going to stay on the higher end of the spectrum. And that Alcorn game was one that simply got away as well.
It's okay. You like it when you see it, and now you just got to correct it. And when you don't correct it, that's going to be the problem. Right now, it won't be a problem. We correct those things. Okay,
very much so. Look, that's what they got you there for. I just report the stories. You make the stories happen. We'll continue on that end.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Hey, Coach, we thank you so much for joining us on tonight. You guys stay safe, man, and we'll be talking to you real soon, okay?
Thanks for having me. You guys enjoy.
All right. That was Coach Eric Dooley with the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Man, we weathered through the storm, but we got to the finish line. A tough one on tonight with all the technical challenges, but guess what? You got to get it done. You do what you got to do. Don't complain about what's not working in your favor. You work it out until it gets figured out. I would like to thank Coach Byron Smith and Coach Eric Dooley for joining us tonight on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. Of course, the Lord say the same and the creek don't rise. We'll be right back tomorrow to get this thing off the ground. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. I've got to go. My time is far spent, but until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.